Peace, fam. So we're back at it again with another video. Thank you guys for joining the community. You guys are amazing. You guys are a part of the tribe, the royal tribe. We're not bullshitting around here. We're just not. We're not. We're here because we have a vision, we have a goal, we have a desire. I can and I will. I can and I will. With that being said, right now we are talking about the Malefics, Mars and Saturn in terms of astrology, medical astrology, not astrology in general, but I might dibble and dabble into a little bit of that as well, because it kind of like mixes, right? With that being said, Mars and Saturn are both planets that can cause challenges in the patient or anybody's natal chart, right? Mars is the planet of aggression. It's the planet of heat. It's the planet of the soldier, right? Cuts, bruises, wounds. It's really hot. It's dry. And so, say you have a Mars in your sign where your sun is located. Say you have a Mars in Gemini and your sun is also in Gemini. The Mars is going to amplify cuts, wounds, bruises, blood flow, inside, temperature inside of the bodily region that Gemini rules. And Gemini rules the lungs, but also rules things in twos like the wrists, the arms, right? Things of that nature. And so, say you have a patient coming in, or you have a Mars in Gemini, and your sun is also in Gemini. Well, your sun doesn't have to be in Gemini. Let's just say you have a Mars in Gemini, right? And you can feel how your lungs may be feeling hot. Like, you may feel that things like peppermint essential oil, when rubbed on it, makes your chest feel better, right? It makes it feel, of course it feels cooler, but it's more of a relief. It's more of a, wow, my chest feels better, right? Or say you have a Mars in Pisces, right? Which can cause issues in the let's say you have a Mars in Scorpio. I like this better. It can form a issue in your lymphatic system, right? And your lymphatic system is basically what moves all the waste out of your body. And so if your Mars is in Scorpio, you can have issues with too much fluid coming out at once. Does that make sense? Especially when it comes to the nose, which is a part of that system where things drain out, right? Or maybe it's an overactive lymphatic system. Now, when it comes to Saturn, it's a very similar dynamic, except it's cold and dry instead of hot and dry. Mars is hot and dry. Saturn is cold and dry. So say you have a Saturn in Gemini, right? If your Saturn is in Gemini, then your lungs are more prone to being cold, right? And when they're cold, you're more prone to getting diseases like colds or bronchitis or I'm trying to think of another one that's cold. Well, a cold is easy. It's probably the easiest one for you to relate to, right? And so that coldness inside of your lungs changes the temperature inside of your lungs to where it's harder for your body to take certain actions, right? Because of the temperature, right? And also because it's dry, right? Now I'm not going to go over like herbs in this video, like in depth, but when things are dry, you want to get moistening herbs. Like for example, If your Saturn is in Gemini, and you know Gemini is cold and rules the lungs, right? You will want to get things like Iris sea moss. Right? Iris sea moss is a herb that helps moisten the mucous membranes in your body. And so if you're doing Iris sea moss, it's going to coat those mucous membranes so that the dryness will not be so dry. It will moisten the dryness, right? Now you solve the dryness problem, but if you want to solve the cold problem, you can add like a pinch of cayenne pepper in it, right? And that will help with the cool, so to make it more warm, right? To help with the flow of blood and the flow of nutrients through that bodily zone of the zodiacal man, right? And we will go over the zodiacal man in a different video. That video should be coming next. Well, actually, it might not even be a video. It might just be a photo. A photo is worth 1,000 words. The photo will be more beneficiary. I might still do a video, but I'm definitely gonna have a photo in the video if I do a video. And those are the two malefics. Well, the two main malefics in terms of medical astrology for beginners, right? If you're beginning, Mars and Saturn are the two planets that you should look at in somebody's chart, right? Or in your chart, right? If you get your own chart, look where Mars is and look where Saturn is. Look and see which sign it's in, and find out which bodily zone that sign rules, and then you can accurately see how Mars affects that bodily zone of the zodiacal man, right? Remember, Mars is hot and dry, Saturn is cold and dry. Mars is hot and dry, Saturn is cold and dry. With that being said, that is the end of this video. Thank you guys for joining the tribe. If you have a question, please leave a comment below. I will answer it. If I don't answer it, another person in the community will answer it, or one of my assistants will answer it. And that is all for this video. Yes, that's all for this video. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Peace.